Welcome. Don't go away. Our feature film will begin following our movie introduction by our host and mystery master Randall Schaefer, and then stay with us until the end. You'll be glad you did.
Coming soon to Hastings Mystery Theater. Uneasy Terms. It's a 1948 mystery thriller. Private Eye Slim Callahan is summoned to the country home of Colonel Stenhurst, but the colonel is later murdered before he can talk to the detective. Was one of the colonel's 3 daughters responsible? Don't miss Uneasy Terms.
If you'd like to check out an additional unlisted bonus movie, you can find a link in this video's description, or pinned to the top of the comments below. Enjoy the movie.
Good evening. Welcome to Hastings Mystery Theater. I'm your host and mystery master, Randall Schaefer. Tonight, the corridors of mystery take us back to 1934 for an MGM release, Murder in a Private Car. Ruth Raymond was kidnapped as a child and has no memory of her birth family. But her father, who's a rich man, has searched for her for years and has finally found her. A private rail car is dispatched to take the young woman to her father, but sinister forces will commit murder to prevent that from happening. Our star is Mary Carlisle. She was educated in a Boston convent, but moved to LA when her mother married famed industrialist Henry Kaiser. In 1930, Mary Carlisle was young and beautiful and easily found work in the movies, but she was too young and she had to put her movie career on hold until she graduated from high school. After that, she made B movies for 6 years until she retired and then got married. She was 30 years old when she married James Blakely, who became an executive producer for 20th Century Fox. They were married for 65 years until his death in 2007. And as we tape this in May of 2016, Mary is still alive at 101 years old. Let's return to 1934 and watch Mary Carlisle and a really good cast of supporting actors on a dangerous train ride. Enjoy Murder in a Private Car.
Yes, just a moment, please. Hello. Allen and Company. Yes. Just a minute and I'll see. 1 minute, please.
Harry.
Hello. No, he isn't. Yes. Allen and Company.
Moment, please.
Mr. Brooke? Yes,
Hello?
just a minute,
Who
please.
do you wish to speak to?
Mr. Coffee?
Sorry, the line's
ringing.
busy. Will you wait?
Hold on, will
All
you
right,
please?
just
It's
a minute.
busy.
Quotations?
Yes, sir.
Quotations? Just a moment, please.
Allen and Company. Quotations, just 1 moment. Quotations, just a moment, please. Quotations. Yes, sir.
Pardon me?
Allen and Company. Quotations, just 1 moment. What did you say?
Yeah, ma'am, I said pardon me. That's all I said.
Quotations, just a minute, please. Quotations? Yes, just 1 moment.
Everybody's asking for quotations, aren't they?
Quotations, just a minute, please.
Can I speak to you, please?
It's the fellow to fix the washroom. Tell him about it, will you?
Allen and Company. Yes, just 1 moment. It's right over there.
What's over there?
The washroom. Allen and Company. Quotations.
Well, thank you. That's very thoughtful of you, but not now. There's something far more urgent.
Oh, you're not the plumber.
Oh, no, I've never plumbed in my life.
Then what are you doing here?
Well, I read once about a man who lost a camel, and he said, if I were a camel, where would I go? And he went there, and there was the horse, the camel.
This must be field day for daffodils.
Allen and Company.
Daffodils, that
Yes,
reminds
Allen
me.
Company.
Here's,
Yes, just
here's a
one
little one
moment,
for
please.
you.
Yes.
Little daffodil for you.
Yes.
Pretty?
Who are you?
Well, I'm practically a stranger. I have taken an office in the building upstairs, and I thought perhaps we might get acquainted. My card.
Yes, Allen and Company. Yes, just one moment, please.
That's right. Pass
Yes.
it right along.
Allen and
You'll be
Company.
seeing a lot of me.
Quotation. How do you figure that out?
Well, of course, you're here, and I'm up there. Up here and down close proximity. Simple?
You certainly are.
Yes, thank you.
Well, that gives you a rough idea of what the stock market does to them. Allen and Company. Hello? Yes? John Blake. Oh, I'm so glad you called me, John. Oh, you ought to see Ruthie Birdie. We sure miss you around here. You bet. Oh, there never was anybody came from this office that we missed any more. Yes, and you're going to miss him a lot more. Come on, give me that call. Hello?
Hello. Allen and Company? Could you give me a report on John Blake Preferred?
John Blake Preferred? Very fine stock. Condition unsettled. A contemplated merger may boost the issue. Just a moment, please. Stockholders meeting schedule, Westlake Park, tonight, 8:30. The usual bench. Quotations? You bet I'll be there. Quotations? Just a minute, bye. Please. Allen and Company. Allen and Company. Quotations? Yes, just a minute, please. Quotations? Just a moment,
Miss Raymond,
please.
boss wants to see you.
Allen and Company. Just a minute, please. Allen and Company. Just a moment, please. What is it? Okay.
When you see John Blake, will you give him those?
How do you know I'll see him?
Oh, the West Coast wind chill lets me. Why, last week I overheard the boss say in a whisper that couldn't possibly carry more than 5 miles.
Hello.
Blake, he whispered, since you persist in forcing your attentions on Miss Raymond,
Quotation? Just a
you're
moment,
fired.
please. And what did Mr. Blake say?
Well, he was very quiet. But Mr. Allen, oh, he made a terrible noise when he kind of fell over the desk and landed in the wastebasket. Oh, mercy.
Just a moment, please. I'll tell that office hour Romeo I'm a one-man
Just a
Julie.
moment, please. Honey, never sock the boss till he's bought your lunch. Shakespeare.
Lunch.
Quotation?
That's the story, and it looks like the culmination of a 14-year search.
And you say the man who took the child was Carson's own brother?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Come right on in, Miss Raymond. This is Mr. Murray, an attorney from New York.
How do you do, Mr. Murray?
How do you do? Have you ever seen this photograph?
No.
Good. Sit down. You won't mind answering a few questions, will you?
Why? Has something happened?
It looks that way, and something rather nice, too.
How long have you lived here in Los Angeles?
Well, the first thing I remember is I came out here from someplace, I don't know where, with my uncle.
Yes, and what about your father?
Oh, he died before I was old enough to know him. But of course my uncle told me all about him. And then one day my uncle disappeared and, well, I guess that's about all there is to tell.
Excuse me a moment, will you? Oh, don't go for a little while. I got it. And it looks like a good one, too.
This'll be easy.
Say, Mr. Allen, what's this all about?
Now, you'll know in a few seconds. I don't want to raise any false hopes, but...
Well, the case is closed.
Yes, she's the Carson girl, all right.
Who's the Carson girl?
You are. And instead of your father being dead, he's president of the Atlantic and Western Railroad Company and half a dozen other roads, one of the richest men in the country.
What do you mean?
Well, you've probably read about the Ruth Carson case yourself. The papers have kept it alive for 14 years. Carson's little daughter disappeared at the same time his brother dropped out of sight. A business quarrel. It seems that Elwood Carson stole you to spite his brother.
Gosh.
Nothing was ever seen of Elwood Carson and the child again. Finally, he was traced to the coast, and there the trail was lost. Practically the only proof that Ruth Carson ever lived was contained in the sticky baby fingerprints on your mother's photograph.
And they're my fingerprints?
Miss, we hang people on less evidence than this. People lie, but their fingers don't.
I'll tell you all about it later. In the meantime, I'll engage a suite for you at the Hotel Diplomat and wire your father. Get me the Hotel Diplomat.
Patience, just a moment, please. Allen and Company, just a moment, please.
Georgie, no more telephones, no more quotations. I'm through.
You mean you're fired?
Fired nothing. Oh, you won't believe it. But I'm the daughter of one of the wealthiest men in the world.
Oh, ye gods, another one.
I just found out that I'm the only daughter of a half a dozen railroads and Lou Carson.
Oh, honey, now, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Just keep calm there. Just stand there. And here's a chair. You can put it right there and relax. Now, just take it easy. Let me have your little knee. Now, let's see. Mm-hmm. Well, that seems to be all right. Let's see your tongue. Say, are you ribbing me, Ruthie Raymond?
Ruth Carson. Don't you ever read the papers? Or just think of it, Georgie. I'm leaving here. Don't you get me?
Where are you going?
First to the Hotel Diplomat, and then to meet my father. And then maybe Paris and London and... Oh, gee, all my life I've wondered who my dad was. And now I'm not only going to have him, but all the things I've wanted all my life.
Gee, honey, but I'm glad for you. Well, you'll drop us a card once in a while, won't you? Allen and Company. Quotations? Quotations? Quotations, my foot. Come on.
Get me the Hotel Diplomat on the Flower Street, please. Hello, Hotel Diplomat? I'd like to speak to Miss Ruth Carson. Ruth Carson, yes. She what? She's not talking to anyone. She isn't angry, is she? Well, you tell her to call me up as quickly as possible. She needs me. Well, you just tell her that I'm the man who didn't go to the washroom. Yes. Yeah, what? Yes, 'tis an idea. Excuse me.
On time nothing, you're an hour late.
Why, the hotel operator gave me a message not to be here until 9:30.
Hotel operator? Why, I didn't send you any message.
That's funny.
Yes, very funny.
Oh, well, let's not blame the operator. You see, the third richest girl in the world gets so many calls. Come on, John. John, I can only stay a few minutes. You see, I've got to...
Yes, I know. You're Ruth Carson. I used to know a Ruth Raymond. Gosh, how I miss her.
Oh, now you're being silly.
Keep the home fires burning, Abner. Pardon me. How thick is your gas tank?
I don't know. I didn't build the car. I just drive it.
Oh, no hard feelings?
No.
Thank you.
I think a number 7 will do.
What?
Yeah, I say no hard feelings.
No.
No.
Who's your friend?
Oh, Papa ordered him.
Huh?
It seems rich girls must have protection.
No hard feelings.
Listen, I'm willing to let the matter drop, if you are.
Why, certainly. I shall treat the incident as if it had never occurred. Your family's all well?
Will you please go away?
Yes.
Where to now?
Yeah, what day is today?
Why, it's Thursday.
My, I thought it was 9 o'clock. How the days do fly.
Honestly, I think being rich is more fun. John, just think how wonderful everything's going to be for us. Now we can get married.
Now, wait a minute, Ruth. You're worth millions. Great. But if you think I'm going to become Mr. Ruth Carson, you're all wrong. Until I'm in a position to make you Mrs. John Blake, we'll just stay friends.
Full of all the ridiculous things. Do you think it's going to make any difference just because I came into a few $1 million?
Of course not. When are you going away?
Well, I won't know until Mr. Murray gets back to the hotel at 10. Oh, I must go now. You won't mind, will you?
No, I'll call you at 10:30. Goodbye.
Are you trying to ritz me?
No.
Well, now you're acting human. For a moment, I thought my wealth had gone to your head.
Oh, sweet. Do me a favor, Ruth. Coax that guy under one of your papa's locomotives.
Oh, silly. Good night.
Good night.
It's getting chilly. I'll close this window for you.
Don't forget, 10:30.
All right, miss.
Keep that car in sight, will you, Humphrey?
There's no time for figuring. Let's scram. Where's the driver of this car?
Guess he must have went into the movies.
All right, fellas, give me a hand. Clear this out, will you? Come on. Put it over by the...
Hey, there's a dame in here, and is she pickle?
All right, come on. Say, listen, mister, I'm tired. Will you please pay me off and let me go?
No. I like you. There's something refreshing about you. A little gasoline-y, but refreshing.
Let me through, please.
Oh, good evening. Good evening, officer. Reprove me if I encroach. Just reprove me.
Get out of the way.
That's right. Reprove me. I can take it, pardoning the vernacular. Well, but... if it isn't Ruth Carson.
Ruth Carson?
Well, fancy meeting you here like this. Small world, isn't it?
Get out of the way.
No. I wouldn't take her in there. It's a terrible picture. Driver, put up your horse. We're in for the evening.
Carson Ayres, victim of attempted kidnapping. Hi, XG. Ruth Carson is victim of attempted kidnapping. Hi, XG. Read all about it. Attempted kidnapping on Carson Ayres.
Gee, it must be great to have your name yelled out like that and be almost kidnapped.
Fine thing when you can't even trust a hired bodyguard.
And such a fine-looking bodyguard. Oh, I wish somebody like that was guarding my body. But wasn't it lucky that gasoline tank sprang a leak?
I wonder if it was luck.
Oh, say, maybe that switchboard wasn't such a bad spot after all.
Listen, Miss Carson, I've got to get you to your father right away. My nerves won't stand this much longer.
Isn't it fun?
It's all okay, Mr. Murray.
Oh, no, we've got to wait for Georgia.
Oh, here she comes now.
Good heavens, honey, are we pinched?
No, that's our escort.
Oh.
Come along.
I feel so important. Oh, it's so thrilling.
Come on, what did you find out? It's the same old story, honey. He hasn't been home since, and the landlady can't locate him.
Who's that?
John Blake, Ruth's boyfriend.
Isn't that great? It sounds like a raid.
Ruth!
Say, what's the idea?
I've got to get through. I've got to see Miss Carson.
Yeah? I'm here to see that you don't.
But she's got to be warned. There's a gang.
We know all that.
But somebody's got to tell her. They've got it all planned.
You seem to know a lot about this. What are you so anxious to get to her for?
Another highball, sir?
No, thanks. Afraid that wasn't so good.
Yeah, sir. They're kind of hard to get since they took prohibition away from us. Yeah, sir?
Oh, I forgot.
Yes, sir.
Wake me up at 8.
Yeah. Ham, you is unnecessary.
You're going to meet an elderly man with oodles of money.
Oh, you're uncanny. Georgia, I'm terribly worried about something.
Worried? For pity's sake, what about?
Well, I don't know whether to call him father or dad or what do people who have fathers call them.
Well, I'd say that it all depends. If he's rich, something like father or dad or even Peter usually pays pretty good. My old man only rated Pappy.
Well, hadn't you girls better get some sleep?
Well, I'm willing to try it, but I don't think it'll work.
I'm too excited.
Well, good night, girls.
Good night, Mr. Murray. You know, I never realized that being rich required so much practice. I used to sleep awfully well when I was in moderate circumstances. Gee, this train's going fast. Look, there's a town. Wasn't it?
Good evening. Miss Carson, I'm Conductor Hanks, specially assigned to this car.
Oh, how do you do? This is Miss Layton.
How do you do?
How do you do? I think you have a perfectly lovely train.
And pulled by the fastest and finest locomotive.
I'll bet it's cute.
Anything I can do for you this evening, miss?
No, thank you. We're going to retire now. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, Mr. Hanks, would you mind calling my attention to Kansas City as we'll pass through? I have an aunt living there. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Say, you know, that bed looks pretty good after all. If I don't wake up for 2 or 3 days, I'm not dead. I'm just resting.
I think I'll go back and write John a letter.
I was expecting that. Well, you better do it. It'll make you sleep better.
Oh, telegrams don't reach him. Maybe the post office can find him.
Well, go on. I'll unpack for you. You know, this love thing causes so much trouble, you wonder what makes it so popular.
Anything wrong?
There was a strange man in the room.
Oh, it looks like nerve.
No, I saw his hand.
Turn on the lights. Look.
Oh, look!
Say, what's the idea?
I ain't in no condition to talk now, boss. I was just trying to turn the lights on. She scared me.
Oh, you see, it's nothing. You better get some rest.
Then who turned out that light when I was riding?
The vibration of the car, probably. Porter, see if that bulb's okay.
Yes, sir.
Look! 8 hours to live. What do you mean by that?
Why, I never wrote that.
We'd better go through the train and check on those who are still up.
8 hours to live.
What does it mean? And who wrote it?
What are you doing here, and by what right?
By the right of every good man to fight for the woman he loved.
What woman?
Any woman.
Does that face look familiar?
Terribly so.
As a matter of fact, I've lost my knife. My number 4 thread puller. Oh, here it is. Well, how do you do, Miss Carson? You remember me? And Miss Latham, you must remember me.
It's the daffodil.
Yes, I knew you would. I have that kind of a face. How do you do? May I see that letter, please?
You still have my hand.
Oh, pardon me. I thought it was mine.
Does no admittance private mean nothing to you?
Pardon me just a minute, please. Pardon me. I would suggest that you permit me to place my services at your disposal, Mr. Murray.
You're familiar with our names. What's yours?
My name is Scott. I believe you know my father.
Not Rufus Scott, son.
The same, unless the old gentleman has been fooling me.
Oh, I remember. He told me once that you were either a genius in your own special line or an idiot.
Well, I may be the former, and being the former, I may be the latter.
Well, what is your special line?
A deflector.
What does a deflector deflect?
Crime.
Oh, you mean a detective?
Oh, no, Miss Latham. Nothing so plebeian. You see, a detective appears after the crime is committed. A deflector appears before the crime is perpetrated and deflects it. And the deflection is in direct ratio with the animus of the exciting body. Simple?
I think I've answered that before.
Well, you're wasting your time, young man, because there's nothing on this train to deflect.
Pardon me, Mr. Murray, you're wrong. Miss Ruth Carson is in grave danger. I realized that from the first moment I read she was a rich girl. So if you'll permit me, I'll go to work. I have here a piece of string. Miss Latham, would you mind holding out your hand, taking it, please? And, Miss Carson, you do likewise? And we just cover that over there. There. Now, Miss Carson, would you, follow through? Miss Latham? That's it. Mr. Murray, would you like to play? Me? Now, have you got a match?
Oh, Mr. Mary!
What was... Well, As a crime deflector, I must naturally give this object considerable thought. Good deflection comes of clear reflection. My, both your eyes are very pretty. The man who lost this cap is missing.
Missing?
Yeah, missing his cap. I lean to occasional witticisms.
Is the train conductor in here?
No, but his cap just dropped in. I dare say he'll blow in shortly.
All right, we've had enough of this nonsense. Now, this is a private car, and I'd like to keep it that way if you don't mind. Now, clear out, please. Come on, girl.
Now,
you better get to
please,
bed.
I lost a very good
Never
hat
mind.
here.
Come on, get out,
But
get
Mr.
out.
Murray, that hat.
I can't help it. Move out, move out.
Please, the wind took a perfectly good hat of mine.
Never mind, never mind your
A hat is a component part of a... good night, ladies. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, girls.
Good night, Mr. Murray.
Are you going in there?
Yes.
Well, meet the conductor. You'll probably become better acquainted as he throws you out.
Sorry, you can't go in there.
I have an appointment with Mr. Murray. He's expecting me.
Well, all right, I'll check on that. Now, as for you, get out, stay out, and don't come back. Is that plain?
Oh, yes, that's plain, but not very polite. But you know the old saying, what's sauce for the gander is goose for the goose.
Oh, come on.
Why, it's Mr. Allen. What are you doing here?
Ruth, I couldn't let you take this weird trip without warning you.
What do you mean, weird?
Well, I found out a lot of things about Murray, and I don't want you to trust him.
Oh,
Well, why don't you tell him?
I will. Where is he?
In the club car.
Come on.
But what's this all about?
Oh, hello, Mr. Allen. Well, what are you doing here?
Murray, you know my feelings toward Ruth.
Yes, I think you made that clear to me.
Well, I want to make this clear to you. I don't believe you're taking her to Luke Carson.
What?
You heard me.
Say, are you here to make trouble?
I'm here to make it or save it. Take your choice. But Ruth means a lot to me, and I'm going to protect her.
And I'm going to have you thrown out of this car.
Oh, no, you're not. You say you're taking Ruth to Luke Carson. Well, I wired Carson, and he isn't even in New York.
Of course he isn't. Now, look here, Alan. If you're as smart as you're credited to be, you'll continue to look after your own affairs. It so happens that I've been engaged by Mr. Carson to look after his daughter.
I tell you, this whole thing is a frame-up. He has no proof that you're Carson's daughter, and I don't believe you are.
Quotations? Just a moment, please. Quotations? Annie doesn't live here anymore.
Well, I don't know what to believe now.
Oh, I beg your pardon, as the Arabs were wont to say. One swallow doesn't make a summer, nor a drink either. Miss Carson?
Say, didn't I tell you to stay out of here?
Yes, now come to think of it, you did. But you know the old saying, it's the early worm that gets the bird. If you know what I mean. Miss Carson, would you like to have someone protect you? Someone you can trust?
Of course.
You would? All right. Hold that. Don't let go.
Please consider leaving us your thoughts in the comment section, as well as giving this video a like, and subscribing to our channel. Also, check out the link in the description below. Click the link to enjoy a free bonus Hastings Mystery Theater episode. Thanks again for your kind support that enables us to continue bringing you these great old classic black and white movies.
Shut up.
Then I'll just quit.
How about you two going inside? I'm getting cold.
I expected you to bob up.
Well, I can't say I held the same hope regarding you.
Alan, you're the one who's been causing Ruth all this trouble. You had me slugged and taken away, and now you're trying to do the same thing to her.
No rough stuff. I've got you covered.
Now, don't start any shooting around here.
Mr. Allen won't shoot.
Oh, won't I?
No, you haven't the shooter's eye. The glint is lacking.
Porter, get the conductor. Have these men thrown out of here. All of them.
All of them? Yes, sir.
When the conductor comes, I'm going to take you off the train.
You're not going to take her anywhere.
Miss Carson is in my charge, and she's going to stay right here, by her father's orders.
Nonsense. She's not Luke Carson's daughter.
You mean that?
Oh, none of us know who we are.
No, as the Peruvians used to say, know thyself or never look a gift horse in the face. The Peruvians always said, pardon me. Thank you.
Mr. Murray, do you want me?
Yes. I want these men put out of here. All of them.
Conductor, can you stop this train?
I can, but I won't.
I represent Mr. Carson, and I want these men thrown out.
You've heard the orders, gentlemen. I must ask you to leave.
If I'm Ruth Carson, I'll give a few orders around here.
Other stuff, honey, tell him.
I want Mr. Blake to occupy the compartment next to mine. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I know I can trust him.
All right. Let him stay.
Miss Latham, I can be trusted up to a certain point.
That's what Pappy told Mammy.
Come on. Get out of here.
Be calm. There's nothing to worry about.
Thank you. Your confidence makes us feel much better. Oh, no, don't go.
What is it? Circus wreck ahead. They're clearing up the tracks. Oh, come on.
Would you like to go to the circus?
Why go to the circus when you're here?
Yes.
excuse me, was anybody hurt?
No, but there will be.
Yes,
And
yes.
stay away from those cages, John. Now, those animals are dangerous.
Oh, well, they're not afraid of me. I'm an old animal man. You know what Nero said?
Nerd.
Right. Why, hello, Leo. Any good pictures in town tonight? Thank you, thank you.
Hey! Hold it! Get it back!
Well, here, would you like to try one of mine?
Mister, would you hold this a minute?
Why, yes. Always glad to help a friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's the first time I've ever been on the tail end of things. It's rather new experience for me.
Get that stuff off that track there. They gotta get that train out.
The griller escaped.
What?
The chief said to keep it quiet. Don't want to panic the troop.
What's the order?
Shoot him. Can't take any chances.
Okay.
All aboard! Well, I'm sorry. The best of friends must part. Oh, well, I'm just in time, eh?
Not for this car.
Now, wait. I bought my ticket in this car.
Clothes will be worn out before we get to bed.
You're telling me.
Honey, my advice is to get off the train at the first stop, wherever it is. This was the biggest maybe trip I ever took.
What do you mean, maybe trip?
Well, you're the daughter of a very wealthy man. Maybe. Murray is a New York lawyer taking you to meet your father. Maybe. Alan is in love with you and trying to protect your interests. Maybe. Scott is a nut, positively. I'm beginning to suspect Blake, and I'm not even so sure of myself.
I'll see you in the morning.
Maybe.
Night.
Good night, honey.
What was that?
I don't know. Here, this is yours.
Oh, gee, hurry up.
Well, I certainly feel greatly refreshed after that little rest.
Mr. Murray, why is this? What's happened? What's wrong? What's happened to me?
And you have only 5 hours to live.
Would you mind repeating that, please?
This. He's dead. Had to send a wire to the coroner, Fulton.
May I take the message?
Oh, John, it's Mr. Murray. He's dead.
Where's Alan?
As I passed Mr. Murray's compartment just now, I heard an argument going on.
Who won?
You're getting off this train at the next station.
We're all getting off at the next station.
I'm taking you off this train the moment it stops.
Don't do that.
Miss Latham, you come with me.
Porter, take the body to a station.
Boss, I couldn't even take my own body any place.
Do as I tell you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Porter. Come on.
that, he wouldn't listen to me.
Then you did expect a crime? This crime?
No, but I had a feeling. Now, what we have to settle is when and how and where and in as much and so. And you see that, of course.
Yes, I do not.
Well, then that clears that up. Would you care to munch a mint?
No, thank you.
However, we have this point. Eh?
Oh, Louis, just who is this we you're talking about?
Why, you and I. Us. Don't you know that we need each other?
Well, I haven't felt any particular yearning.
Oh, but you will. You will. You know the old saying.
Yes, I know it.
Well, then we can proceed.
Before we proceed, don't you think it would help us if I called you by some name?
You mean in case the score is tied? Why, certainly. My name is Godfrey D. Scott. I'm very pleased to meet you.
I'll call you Godfrey.
Yeah, thank you.
It'll sound like I'm swearing at you.
Yes. Well, if it'll help you any, my middle name is Damrosch. Shall we, join the, hostilities again?
There. Now I guess we're all set. I'll get Georgia and tell her we're getting off at the next station.
Oh, and hurry back, John. I'm terribly afraid.
All right.
Well, isn't this nice and comfy?
Outside, please. We're dressing.
I suppose that means me, too.
Yes, that means you, outside.
Well, are you with him, or is he with you?
Oh, no, we're all together. Couldn't we play a little something?
Just what would you like to play?
Well, post office, kiss the pillow, puss in the corner.
Out, please.
Well, I'm only trying to be sociable.
It's nice out there. Oh! Look!
What is it?
A paw! The paw of some terrible animal. A gorilla. That's what it is, a gorilla.
No, there are no gorillas in this country.
Maybe this one don't know he's in this country. Honey, this rope goes right on the bottom. I won't need it anymore.
Anyway, we'll get to Houghton by daylight. That's something.
There's an awful lot of traffic going on around this car. Important thing to take care of here, and I don't want to have any disturbance.
Quiet. Quiet, please. Quiet. Hello. Well, I'll be seeing you.
The gorilla.
Tell him we don't want any today.
It's me, John.
Oh, just a minute. John, did you see that terrible thing?
Who, Scott?
No, the gorilla. It was here.
And they call this a private car. Oh, why, it's Godfrey.
Let's
The
have a-
gorilla did it.
My head. Where's my head?
Oh, my head is Godfrey right here.
Oh.
What happened? Who struck you?
I don't know. I think it was a baby monkey with enlarged thyroid glands. He was very unreasonable about everything.
And you drove him off all alone?
Yes, I did it all alone. Did it with that. Yes, he put up a good fight, though. Sometimes he was on top and sometimes I was on the bottom.
I told you had something.
Yes, I certainly have something. Oh,
I'll certainly be glad to get off of this car.
Well, we'll be in Holden soon. Say, you girls better get dressed.
no.
Come on, Georgia.
Oh, my head. The back. Oh, thank
Oh, look!
What?
The gorilla.
Where? Great Scott, he's shrunk.
Is this number 6?
Yes, Mr. Carson, right there.
Thanks.
You know who that is?
No.
Luke Carson.
Yeah? Yeah. Yes, I know, but the situation is this. You see, I've met a young lady of whom I have grown very fond. Yes, exactly. And in fact, I might say I'm in love with her, and I want to buy her a present. And I don't know whether to buy her a bow and arrow or a pot. So that's why I'm getting these suggestions from you. Bicarbonate of soda is very good for that. Here's a pretty little thing. Yes, I think so too. The handle may be a little round or too much. Don't you think so?
Ooh, I'm glad we're out of there.
Yeah, even a wheelbarrow'd look good to me.
Oh, that's mine.
Oh, pardon me. Pardon me again. Are you any relation to Mr. Luke Carson?
Why, I am Luke Carson.
Well, then that accounts for the remarkable resemblance. You're looking for your daughter?
Yes, I had a radiophone from the conductor of this car.
Well, I'm a member of her party.
Is that so?
Yes.
Where's Mr. Murray?
Well, I don't know now. I'm afraid he's picked his last daisy.
Dead?
Very dead. There's Ruthie.
Oh.
How much do I owe you here, Chief?
Oh, hurry, John.
Did y'all forget this?
Oh, yes, thank you.
My darling. My daughter.
Say, who are you?
Why, I'm your father.
Have I got one in this town, too?
Pardon the suggestion, Mr. Carson, but that other young lady is your daughter.
Say, are you Mr. Carson?
Yes.
Ruth! Yes? Come back quick. Now what's happened? Your father's here.
Ruth!
Oh, Godfrey.
Ruth!
Oh.
Just like your mother.
Yes, exactly. Modest man.
Father, this is Mr. Blake.
How do you do? How do you do, sir?
He's the boyfriend, in case you're interested, Mr. Carson.
Good. Well, now, let's get aboard the car.
Oh, no, not that car.
Well, why? What's the matter with it?
Oh, it's full of all sorts of dreadful things. Strange towns and voices. And poor Mr. Murray died.
And the gorilla. Don't forget the gorilla.
Oh, nonsense. Now, let's get aboard the car. And no superstition. Now, come. Eh?
Oh, but Father, I'm really afraid.
There's nothing to be afraid of, dear. Don't be silly.
Oh, Godfrey, can't you deflect this thing?
You know, I used to be pretty good with one of these back on the range, back when I shot buffalo.
Tricky job, these private cars. They groove along the floor I can't seem to find any reason for. Seems to work okay, though. You're lucky to find a door here.
Yes. Here.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, let us forget about monkeys and poor Murray and that wandering lunatic Scott.
Yeah, present.
You again. Now listen to me. Ruth has been telling me what a nightmare this trip has been ever since it started. And in my opinion, you're at the bottom of most of the trouble. You and the gorilla. You scared poor Murray to death.
Pardon me, Mr. Carson. Mr. Murray did not die of natural causes. Mr. Murray was murdered.
Oh, please, Father, don't let's talk any more about it.
Oh, why not let's listen to him? There's just a chance that he might say something sensible.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Latham. I'll take that up with you later.
What proof have you that Murray was murdered? Nobody saw a wound.
I did. I examined the body and I found a stab wound in the right eye. The right eye had been pierced with a dagger and then the eyelid pulled down over the wound.
Well, if you knew this, Scott, why didn't you say something before?
Well, because if I had, we would have all been detained in Holton. And there isn't a decent jail in the town.
By the way, Mr. Carson, I was just thinking, if you intended coming west for Ruth, why did you wire her to start east?
Why did I wire? Why, the only wire I sent was telling Ruth to wait for me in Los Angeles. And then I got Murray's telephone message last night.
What? What message?
I was talking over the radio telephone on the Westbound Limited when suddenly a voice cut in telling me that my daughter was on this train and that we would meet at Holton. I tried to answer, but the connection was broken.
Just as I thought. Ha ha! Oh, now that explains everything. Isn't it remarkable how my system works?
You're the cause of everyone in this car being upset. You started it with the absurd charge that Murray was murdered. Now, girls, go to your room and forget all about gorillas and Murray and, most of all, this idiot.
Do you mean that, Mr. Carson?
I certainly do.
Well, then I'm not unmindful of the old adage, a soft answer turneth away wrath. Therefore, who?
Georgia, Miss Latham. Do you believe in me?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, that's all I want to know.
Oh, this thing's got me dizzy. I'm afraid, Georgia.
Oh, everything will be all right, honey. You know, I feel sorry for Mr. Scott. I sort of like him. But then I always did like the funniest thing, huh?
Georgia!
Seal tight! Blake, quick! Quick!
Father! Father! Oh, the windows of our compartment!
Seal two?
Oh, let's try the vestibule door. Oh, hurry! Father, what are we going to do?
Locked in. Who did that?
Carson, what are all these contraptions doing in your private car?
My private car? This isn't my private car. Mine's in the east.
Say your prayers.
I heard that voice somewhere.
Watch the lights. 1. One by one, those lights will be turned off. At the top of the divide, the last will go out, and this car will start back down the grade. Coming up the grade behind you is the eastbound Limited. You'll crash headlong into it. No power on earth can save you. Watch the lights. 2.
My brother!
Right, your brother. The brother you defrauded 16 years ago. Look in the corridor in the rear of the car. Cylinders of nitroglycerin. When this car hits anything, percussion caps will set off that charge and blow car and everything in it to bits. I wanted everything in perfect order for your trip, because I'll not be here. As the last light goes out, I'll cut this car loose and step into the car ahead. Watch the lights. 3.
Not too late yet! The emergency cord's broken.
Scott! If I could only have found this secret panel before he uncoupled the car.
Conductor Hanks. My brother.
We're sliding back down the grade.
How we put on the brakes? Not a chance. The brakes have been disconnected. This guy didn't overlook a thing.
This is the American Broadcasting Company presenting a coast-to-coast program of Melodies of the Moment. The next group comprises...
Hello. Anything good on the air?
No, I'm trying to get something on the short wave.
You suppose those switches have anything to do with stopping this car?
Please, hold on to your shirt.
Now keep up your courage. Come.
Godfrey, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm happy as a lark.
Can I help you?
Wait a minute.
keep those shutters open, will you?
Those shutters going down. They're going down and hit you.
Ah, boy, that settles that. You go back and take care of the girls.
Okay.
Give George a little kiss for me.
I know it is.
Warning eastbound Overland Limited. Warning eastbound Overland Limited.
What's that?
I don't know.
Now, that's not a program. That's a warning to this train. I get the conductor.
Warning eastbound Overland Limited. Warning eastbound Overland Limited. Rear car, train number 6, out of control. Now headed down mountain.
There's a slim chance, but keep going. They might pick it up.
Warning eastbound Overland Limited. Eastbound Overland Limited, 30 miles east of Bolton. Clear the tracks. Clear the tracks. Runaway car loaded with explosives headed west. Take first siding.
Did you see anything, conductor?
Division tower gets our signal.
If it hits anything, it's good night. Roundhouse.
That
car's loaded with dynamite. Get the people off, but don't bump
close enough to take us off.
She wants to hook onto us.
If they hit this car will explode, sure.
Train will never replace the horse.
Oh!
Ruth, what's the matter?
Ruthie!
She's fainted. I'll take her over. Yes.
I'll try and find her some water.
Oh, Ruthie.
Well, that's all right. She's entitled to a little faint.
Oh, Godfrey, do you think anything else will happen?
Yeah, what else could happen? Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It seems that you like watching these old mystery films from the 1930s and 40s as much as we all do. If you'd like to show your appreciation in a tangible way, then why not share a little love by giving us a one-time small donation? We'd appreciate that, as it will encourage us to continue on with this work of bringing these forgotten gems to you on a regular basis. Simply click on the donate link below, in this video's description, and while you're right there you can click on our mystery merch shop as well. Or visit us on Facebook. Or find our free bonus movie link. Thank you so much. Now here's Randall Schaefer.
I'm Randall Schaefer. I'm the host and mystery master of Hastings Mystery Theater. Hastings Mystery Theater is your source for black and white murder mysteries from the 1930s and 1940s. We really love those. Me, Dan LeClaire, the Hastings Cable Access crew, and my wife Judy bring these movies to you. We hope you enjoy them as much as we do.
Please consider leaving us your thoughts in the comment section, as well as giving this video a like, and subscribing to our channel. Also, check out the link in the description below. Click the link to enjoy a free bonus Hastings Mystery Theater episode. Thanks again for your kind support that enables us to continue bringing you these great old classic black and white movies.